I'm Lazar Chrisimov from BNR Radio Bulgaria. I have a short question for Ms. Blanchett. First of all, thank you for being so effortlessly beautiful every time you come to the Venice Film Festival. Yeah.
That question was a plant.
My question is, given Mr. Jarmusch's entire filmography from the beginning till now, I personally find his films very personal, harmonious, dialogue-driven, and as a human being, what do you think, as we all have seen his movies, why do you think he portrays so calmly, peacefully, and amazingly the conversations, everyday conversations between people? With tea, cigarettes, coffee, it's very interesting in a simple but also astonishing way.
Yeah, the last time we worked, I smoked a lot of cigarettes, so I was glad not to smoke in this one.
That's right.
I think I really realized, firstly, I'm a fan, so I totally agree with everything you said. But I realized this time it's because we were talking, Charlotte and Vicky and I were talking about this morning. We'd often say to Jim, what's happening in this moment? What does this mean? He goes, I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping you were going to tell me what it meant. And I realized that you kind of must write in a sort of stream of consciousness sort of way, quite musically, and that the actors kind of then help you make a sense of it. Not that it doesn't make sense when you read it. But also I do find, there's blisteringly funny and wacky and weird, universes that you create that only you could create, Jim. But there's a kind of soulfulness and like a sort of a poetry to the way you make sense of things that's particular to you. And I think that's what, we're always trying to lock down and pin down meaning, whereas you allow all these strange interconnections to not necessarily make the ordinary kind of sense, which, given the state of the world, I'm really grateful for,
Yeah, I just want to add one thing, because when I'm writing and I'm thinking of these particular actors to embody these characters I've imagined, the best dialogue, if I may say so, that comes out of me is when I am just transcribing. They are talking in my head, and it's true. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it means, but they are alive, and I'm writing what they are saying. And it's a weird thing, because it's really not something I'm consciously thinking. When it's good, it's just them, and they kind of take over my imagination.
Good morning, Maria Guerra, Quinótico, Spain. Well, thank you so much for this movie, which is like it opens and you are in the planet Jarmusch, because you create this artistic planet so brown. And my question is, well, to Cate Blanchett and all the cast, if you want to answer, what is like? How does he work? How does he actually build this planet? Does he repeat scenes? I don't know. How does Mr. Jarmusch does it?
Bit by bit. We had Charlotte and Vicky and Jim and I, and everyone else can speak to their experience, but on this one, we had dinner like the night before, and then we just went at it. And there was kind of, it's a table scene, and you think, okay, they're all sitting down, what can go wrong? But like the geography and all of that was a real Rubik's Cube, wasn't it? So it became quite technical. And then the previous time we worked together, that was also really technical because I was doubling myself. And that was like 48 hours in a dungeon. I don't think we saw
no daylight.
We were vampires. It's like you nut through the technical stuff. But in the end, the thing that seems to matter to you is the human element, the acting element. So the backdrops are meticulously prepared, and then you just want people to play within it. But yeah, it strangely became quite technical.
But also I have to say, this film was very delicate. It required a lot of focus. It seems like, oh, they're just in a room talking. but I would go home from shooting at night very exhausted from, it's a lot more difficult to be paying attention to a gesture, an eyelid, a way of saying a word, than having 100 zombies come out of a train, or, you know, it was a lot more, it was very focused, and I was so proud to work with them all, but it was, yeah, it required a lot of focus, this film. It's quite delicate to construct, and also the 3 sections to find the right way for them to accumulate something. They're not separable, you know. It's a feature film in 3 kind of chapters, so.
Firstly, congratulations on the film to you all. And I wanted to say your hair color is fabulous, Vicky. My question to both Vicky and Cate is, if I'm correct, I believe the last time you worked together was in the film called Hannah back in 2011. And so I wanted to know, since then, it's been 14 years, how is it like to work together again, and how is it like to explore your dynamic in this film?
Did you remember me?
I do remember.
You recognize me?
I do.
I actually wrote that into my thesis because I was still studying, and I was scolded for it because they said, you're not allowed to write a thesis about things like that. It's called a memoir, and only people who have proven themselves are allowed to write a memoir. And I just wanted to share my experience, and my experience was having a few days, I think, on that movie, and I saw Cate work, and I was completely flabbergasted by the way she worked and the commitment, you know, because I didn't know movies were made like that, and it seemed so much work by so many people who worked so hard, and it was ice freezing cold, and you didn't go home. And then my scene, of course, was last, and I was supposed to be killed by her, and I was, you know, really happy that she actually came to kill me, because I thought she could have just not come and just someone did it inside the camera.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah. And it was really nice. And so
It was in that moment that Jim thought we should play sisters.
Yeah. But when I saw her again, I did come to her and I said, do you remember me? I'm so happy to be here. So I was just very happy to be there.
I mean, but Vicky, I mean, as you all attest to, you know, on screen, but also as a human being. And you were saying how much you loved chaos this morning, and I sort of understand. It has an energy like nobody else. And you could feel that even in that small moment together. I always thought, who is this creature? Yeah. But working with Charlotte and Vicky on this was really, really so delicious. It was lovely.